Good afternoon, dear students. My name is Emily Zara George, and I'll be dealing with the science portion, that is mainly the biology part of your science textbook. So, we are moving on to the first chapter, chapter 1, crop production and management. Crop production and management. So, in our textbook, it's given that Paheli and Bujo, they are two siblings, and they went to their uncle's house during a summer vacation. Their uncle is a farmer, and while visiting their uncle's house, they were able to see various tools like karpi, sickle, shovel, plow, etc. in their uncle's field. So, here I have included the structure as well as the function of various tools mentioned in your textbook. Karpi is a short handled cutting tool with a flat blade. You can see in this picture, Karpi has a flat blade like structure that is used for digging soil and weeding in small gardens or vegetable farms. So these Karpi are mainly used in gardens for digging soil. Then second tool is sickle. It is also a single-handed agricultural tool designed with variously curved blade. So, what is the main difference between Karpi and sickle? Karpi has a flat blade-like structure, whereas sickle have a curved blade-like structure, which helps in harvesting or reaping. Then, third tool they saw in their uncle's garden was shovel. Shovel is a tool that is used for digging, lifting, and moving bulk materials like soil, coal, etc. from a garden. Then, next tool is plow. A plow is a farm tool that is used for loosening or turning the soil before sowing seed or planting. So, these were the tools that Paheli and Bujo saw in their uncle's garden. Then, you have already learned about living organisms, isn't it? Living beings are able to move, they are able to reproduce, they are continuously growing, isn't it? So, plants are considered as a living being, and plants are able to make their own food by themselves. And that process of making food by themselves is known as photosynthesis. Mainly, green plants undergo photosynthesis as they are able to synthesize their own food. So have you ever thought about how do animals get their food from? Yes. So here is a question. Why do we have to eat food? What is the purpose of eating food in case of humans? The energy from food is utilized by organism for carrying out various body functions like digestion, respiration, and excretion. So while eating food, we will be getting energy from that food, and that energy can be used for carrying out various body functions like digestion, respiration, excretion, etc. Next, we are moving on to the part subtopic, that is agriculture. So, in order to provide food for a large population, regular production, proper management, and distribution of food is necessary. Here you can see the definition for agriculture. Agriculture is considered as a science or practice of farming, including cultivation of the soil for the growing of crops and rearing of animals. So, agriculture includes the cultivation of the soil for the growing of crops and the rearing of animals. So till 10,000 BC, people were considered as nomadic forms. Nomadic means they were wandering in groups from one place to another in search of food and shelter. And they ate raw fruits and vegetables and started hunting for animals for food. Later, they could cultivate land and produce rice, wheat, and other food crops. Thus was born the culture of agriculture. So early people were regarded as nomadic forms, whereas later they practiced how to grow crops by their own, and such a concept is known as agriculture. Here you can see the definition for agriculture. Agriculture is a science or practice of farming, including cultivation of the soil for the growing of crops and the rearing of animals. So, next one is when plants of same kind are grown and cultivated at one place on a large scale. That concept is known as crops. Crops means plants of same kind grown on a large scale for food, clothing, etc. So you have already learned that crops are of different types like cereals, vegetables, fruits, etc. And these can be classified on the basis of various seasons. So crop production or crop formation is based on various seasonal changes. So there are two different types of cropping patterns that is seen in our world. First one is kharif crops. Okay, kharif crops are the crops which are sown in a rainy season are known as kharif crops. The rainy season in India is generally from June to September, and some of the examples of kharif crops are paddy, maize, soybean, groundnut, cotton, etc. So kharif crops are generally planted in rainy season, that is in June, and they are harvested in October or September. Then next type of cropping pattern is rabi crops. Rabi crops, these crops grow in winter season, and that's why they are known as rabi crops. Their time period is generally from October to March. Examples of rabi crops are wheat, then gram, pea, mustard, and linseed. Here you can see various examples of rabi crops, isn't it? Then for growing all these crops, there are certain practices to be used. Cultivation of crops involves several activities undertaken by farmers over a period of time. These activities or tasks are termed or referred to as agricultural practices. So, some of the agricultural practices include in crop production are first one, preparation of soil, then second one, sowing, third, adding manure and fertilization, fourth, irrigation, five, protecting from weeds, six, harvesting, and last one, storage. So today we have learned about various tools used in gardens, then differences between crop and agriculture, then we learned about two type of cropping pattern, kharif crops and rabi crops, then we concluded with the different basic practices of crop production. So students, please learn up to this portion. Okay, and that's all for today. Thank you.